ships come sailing in on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. And saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning. And what was in those ships, all 3, on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day? And what was in those ships, all 3, on Christmas Day in the morning? Our Savior Christ and His Lady on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. Our Savior Christ and His Lady on Christmas Day in the morning. And all the angels in heaven shall sing on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. And all the angels in heaven shall sing on Christmas Day in the morning. All the souls on earth shall sing on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. And all the souls on earth shall sing on Christmas Day in the morning. And let us all rejoice amain on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. And let us all rejoice amain on Christmas Day in the morning. All the bells on earth shall ring on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. And all the bells on earth shall ring on Christmas Day in the morning.
Marley was dead to begin with, and there can be absolutely no doubt whatsoever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clerk, by the clergy, by the undertaker. Why, Ebenezer Scrooge himself even signed it, and Scrooge's name is good upon the exchange for anything he puts his hand to. Jacob Marley was dead as a doornail. Now, this must be completely understood, for nothing wonderful can come of the story we're about to relate. Did Ebenezer Scrooge know he was dead? Why, of course he did. Scrooge and Marley had been partners for goodness knows how long. And Scrooge never even painted over Marley's name on the sign that hung above the warehouse door. Scrooge and Marley. That was the name of the firm, Scrooge and Marley. People new to the business would sometimes call Scrooge Scrooge and sometimes Marley. But he answered to both. It was all the same to him. But he was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone. A squeezing, wrenching, clutching, grasping, covetous old sinner. Cold and hard as old flint. External temperatures had little effect on Scrooge. No warmth could warm him, nor wintry weather chill him. And no one ever stopped Scrooge on the street to say with gladsome tones, "My dear Scrooge, how are you? When will you come to see me?" No beggar ever implored him to bestow a trifle. No child ever asked him what it was o'clock. And no man nor woman, not once in all of Scrooge's life, ever asked him the way to such and such a place. But what did Scrooge care? It was rather what he liked. To edge his way along the crowded paths of life, daring all human sympathy to keep its distance. But once upon a time, of all the good days of the year, on Christmas Eve, Ebenezer Scrooge sat working in the counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather, foggy withal. The fog poured in every chink in the keyhole. Scrooge worked in an open room so he could keep an eye on his clerk, who sat at his own dismal desk copying letters. They had a small fire. The fire so small that it appeared to be but a single coal. And the clerk couldn't replenish it. Scrooge kept a coal bin on his side.
Cratchit!
Yes, Mr. Scrooge?
I predict that it will become necessary for you to part my service if you continue to find the need to waste my coal.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge. Sorry, Mr. Scrooge.
Wherefore the clerk donned his scarf and tried to warm himself about the candle. But not being a man of keen imagination, he failed.
Merry Christmas, Bob Cratchit. Merry Christmas to you, sir. Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Humbug!
Christmas, a humbug, Uncle. You don't mean that, surely.
I do. What right have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Well, come, then what right have you to be so dismal? You're rich enough.
Humbug!
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas! Out upon Merry Christmas! What's Christmas time to you but a time for paying bills without any money? A year older, not one penny richer. Why, if I could work my will, every idiot went around with Merry Christmas on his lips, would be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly in his heart.
Uncle.
Nephew.
You keep your Christmas in your way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it. But you don't keep it.
Then let me leave it alone. Little good it's ever done you, little good it'll ever do you.
There are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited. Christmas among the rest. But I've always thought of Christmas time as a good time, when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely, and to think of people below them as fellow passengers to the grave. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never brought a drop of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good, and it will do me good. And I say, God bless it. God bless Christmas.
Well said, sir.
One more side out of you, Cratchit, and you'll keep your Christmas by finding a new situation. You're quite a powerful speaker, sir. No wonder you don't go to Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
I'll see you in hell first.
Why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because I fell in love. Be on your way.
Nay, Uncle, you never came to see me before I married. Why give it a reason for not coming now?
Good afternoon, Fred.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing from you. Why cannot we be friends?
Good afternoon.
Sorry to find you so resolute. But I made my trial in homage to Christmas to keep my Christmas humor to the last. So, a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Bob!
And a Happy New Year.
Humbug!
Try to stop them, sir.
Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley's been dead these 7 years. Actually, Mr. Marley passed away 7 years ago this very night.
But we have no doubt his liberality is well represented in his surviving partner.
At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, we find it more than usually desirable that we make some slight provision for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time. Many thousands are in want of common necessaries, hundreds of thousands in want of common comforts, sir.
Are there no prisons?
Prisons? Plenty of prisons, plenty.
And the union workhouses are still in operation?
Of course they are, sir, but I wish I could say that they were not.
And the treadmill and the poor law are in fine vigor?
Both very busy, sir.
I thought from what you said, something had happened to stop them in their usual course. I'm glad to hear it.
A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time of all others when one is keenly felt. Oh, what shall we put you down for?
You may put me down for nothing.
You wish to remain anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. Since you asked me what I wish, gentlemen, that is my answer. I don't make merry Christmas myself. Mr. Marley never did. And I cannot afford to help idle people be merry. I support the establishments we've mentioned. They cost enough. And if the people are that badly off, let them go there.
But, sir, many can't go there and they would rather die than go there.
Well, if they'd rather die than go there, let them do it. Decrease the surplus population. Besides, it's none of my business.
But, sir, you can make it your business.
It's enough for a man to take care of his own business without missing other people's business. My business occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Sir, it's only...
Good afternoon!
Scrooge resumed his labours with a higher opinion of himself and in a far more facetious temper than was normal even for him. Meanwhile, outside, the fog and darkness thickened, so much so that the ancient tower of a church, whose gruff old bell peered slyly down at Scrooge out of a Gothic window in the wall, grew invisible. It struck its hours and quarters in the clouds, and at last the time of shutting up the counting house had arrived.
Cut it! It's time. Well, out with it. What are you standing there for?
Tomorrow is Christmas Day, sir.
I know, and you want the whole day off, I suppose.
If it's quite convenient, sir.
Well, it's not convenient, and it's not hardly fair. If I were to withhold half a crown from your wages, you'd think yourself ill-used. I'll be bound. But you don't think me ill-used when I pay a whole day's wages for no work, now do you?
'Tis only once a year, sir.
Poor excuse to pick a man's pocket every 25th of December. Well, I suppose you must have it. Be here all the early next morning.
Yes, thank you. Merry Christmas.
Step aside! You people have nothing better to do than stand in the middle of the street. Move aside! Move aside! What are you looking at? Move aside! Move aside!
Now to the Lord sing praises, all you live in this place.
dinner at his usual melancholy tavern, and having read all the local newspapers, beguiled the rest of the evening with his banker's books. And he went home to bed. Scrooge lived in chambers that once belonged to his dead partner Jacob Marley. It was a gloomy suite of rooms in a lowering pile of a building up a yard. A yard that this night was so dark that even Scrooge, who knew its every stone, was fain to grope about with his hands. It should be noted, there was nothing particular about the knocker on the door, except that it was rather large. And it should be borne in mind that Scrooge had not bestowed a single thought on his 7 years deceased partner Marley since earlier that afternoon. Yet, when Scrooge put the key to the lock, he saw in that knocker, without it undergoing any process of change, not a knocker, but the face of Jacob Marley.
Humbug, I don't believe it.
The closing of the door resounded through the house like thunder. Up the stairs Scrooge went, not carrying a button for the darkness. Darkness is cheap, and Scrooge loved cheap. He went from room to room to be sure that all was right, for he had just enough recollection of that face in the knocker to desire to do so. Sleeping room, lumber room, sitting room, all was as it should be. Nobody under the sofa, nobody under the table, nobody under the bed, nobody in the closet. Feeling quite safe, he closed and locked the door, which was not his usual custom. But feeling quite safe from surprise, and in his nightcap, his dressing gown, and his slippers, he sat before the fire to take his evening brew.
Humbug still, I won't believe it. Huh? And now, what do you want of me? Much. Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who was you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Can you sit down?
I can.
Do it then.
You don't believe in me?
I do.
Why do you doubt your own senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A bit of indigestion makes it cheats. Why, you might be a bit of undigested beef, a glutton of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a bit of underdone potato. There's more of gravy than grave to you, whatever you are. Do you see this toothpick?
I do,
You're not looking at it.
but I see it notwithstanding.
All I need to do is swallow this for the rest of my days, be deluged by a bevy of goblins. Humbug, I tell you, humbug! Oh, merciful heavens, dreadful apparition, why do you come to me?
Oh man of worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do, I must, but why do spirits walk the earth, and why do you trouble me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. I am doomed to wander the earth and witness what I cannot share, but might have shared on earth and turn to happiness.
You You are fettered till you lie.
I wear the chains I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I made it of my own free will, and of my own free will, I wore it. Is its pattern strange to you? Or would you know the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was as long, as heavy, as these 7 Christmas Eves ago, Ebenezer. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain.
Oh, Jacob Marley, speak some comfort to me, I pray.
I have none to give. It comes from other regions, Ebenezer, and is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men.
You travel fast?
On the wings of the wind.
You must have covered a great deal of ground in 7 years then, Jacob.
Oh, Captain! Bound in double iron! Not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one's life's opportunities misused. Yet, such was I. Oh, such was I!
You're always a really good businessman, Jacob.
Business? Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Mercy, charity, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a small drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business. And at this rolling time of year, I suffer most! Hear me. My time is nearly gone.
Oh, I will, Jacob, but don't be hard on me. Don't be flowery, I pray.
I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate, Ebenezer. A chance and hope of procuring.
Oh, you're always such a fine friend to me, Jacob. Thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits.
Is that the hope and the chance that you mentioned?
It is.
I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow night when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I get him all at once and get it over with?
Expect the second upon the next night at the same hour. Expect the third upon the next night when the chimes of 12 cease to vibrate. Look to see me no more, but look for your own sake to remember what has passed between us.
It's humbug.
Whether from the emotions he had undergone, or the fatigues of the day, or his glimpse into an invisible world, or his dull conversation with a ghost, or merely the lateness of the hour, much in need of repose, Ebenezer Scrooge fell asleep on the instant.
It was after 2 when I went to bed. Ha! The clock is wrong. Must have gotten an icicle in the works. 1 o'clock. It isn't possible, I said, all the way through another day and into the next night. It isn't possible. Something's happened to the sun and this is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Marley's ghost. It's all a dream. Was it a dream or not? I think it's all a bunch of hooey. Are you the spirit who's coming, was foretold me?
I am.
Who are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
Spirit, the light. Can you not put a cap upon it?
What? Would you so soon put out with worldly hands the light I give?
Well, I don't mean to offend, Spirit, but what business do you have with me?
Your welfare.
Huh. I would think it'd be much more conducive to my welfare to get a good night's rest.
Your reclamation, then. Take heed. Rise and walk with me.
But I'm mortal. I'm liable to fall.
Bear but the touch of my hand, and you shall be upheld.
I know this place. I was born here. I was a boy here.
Your lip is trembling, and what is that upon your cheek?
'Tis nothing, Spirit. Lead me where you will.
Do you remember the way?
Why, yes, I can walk it blindfolded.
Strange to have forgotten it for so many years.
Oh, look, all my friends. Wells and Tompkins, Masses and Hathaway. Yo, Hathaway, Hathaway!
These are but shadows of things that have been. They have no consciousness of us, though they do seem rather jovial.
Oh, jovial, yes. Off on Christmas holiday. Merry Christmas, Manus. Merry Christmas.
School is not quite deserted. I see a solitary child, neglected by his friends.
Oh.
Left there still.
Oh, yes, Spirit, I know. My own poor forgotten self. Oh, look, I'm reading Ali Baba. Dear old honest Ali Baba. Yes, Spirit, I know. One Christmas when this solitary child was left at the school all alone, the books became his friends. Valentine and his brother Olson, Robinson Crusoe. I remember them all so well. I wish, but it's too late. It's much too late.
What is the matter?
Oh, Spirit, nothing. There was a young boy singing Christmas carols at my door this night. I should like to have given him something, that's all.
Let us see another Christmas.
Ebenezer?
Bud?
Dear brother. I've come to bring you home, dear brother. To bring you home.
Home? Home, little fan?
Yes, home for good and all, forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be. That home is like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one day night that I wasn't afraid to ask him once more if he might come home. And he said, yes, you should. And he sent me in a coach to bring you. You're to become a man and go into business and never come back here. But first we're to be together all Christmas long. Have the merriest time in the world.
You are quite a woman, little fan.
Come, Ebenezer. We must get your trunk and your things. The coach is waiting. Come, Ebenezer, come.
She was always a delicate creature whom a breath might have withered, but she had a large giving heart.
Oh, 'tis true, Spirit. I'll not gainsay it.
She died a young woman, and as I think, had children.
Yes, she had one child.
True. Your nephew, Fred.
Hold that, Ebenezer, Richard.
Oh, look, it's Fezziwig! Oh, bless my heart, it's old Fezziwig alive again. And Richard Wilkins, oh, bless me, there he is. Richard was very much attached to me, was Richard. Poor Richard, dear Richard.
Go home, my boys. No more work tonight. It's Christmas Eve, Richard. Christmas, Ebenezer. Now, off with the shutters before you can say, Bob Chirocco. Hello, lads. Hello, Richard. Cheer up, Ebenezer. It's food fun for all. Richard, Ebenezer, I am most disappointed with you two. You did not have near enough fun this evening.
sir...
Tut, tut, not another word. But, to ensure you'll have sufficient fun tomorrow, you must take this. Now, off with you two. Good night, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas. What a night.
What a cold roast! The pies, oh, and the beer! Oh, yeah.
Well, surely there's not a good man in all London as old Fezziwig.
In all England!
Oh, I dare say, all the world. Bless old Fezziwig.
Fezziwig has spent but a few pounds of your mortal money, 3 and 4 perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves this praise?
Oh, it isn't that, Spirit. It is that he has the power to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, pleasure or toil. You might say that his power lies in words and looks and things so slight and insignificant as to make it impossible to add and total them all up. What then? Why, the happiness he brings us, greatest of it costs a small fortune.
What is the matter?
Oh, nothing, Spirit.
Something, I think.
Oh, I should just like to say a word to my clerk, Bob Cratchit, just now. That's all.
My time is short. Quick.
It matters little, Ebenezer. Another idol has displaced you.
Belle, what idol has displaced you?
A golden one.
This is the even-handed dealings of the world. There is nothing on it so hard as poverty.
You fear the world too much. All your other hopes have merged into the hope of being beyond the chance of its approach. I have seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until the master passion gained and grows you.
What then? Even when I have grown so much wiser, what then? I have not changed towards you. Am I?
Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so. You are changed. When it was made, you were another man.
I was a boy.
Your own feeling tells you that you were not what you are now. I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart is fraught with misery now that we are two. How often and keenly have I thought of this? I will not say. It is enough that I have thought of it and can release you.
Have I ever sought release?
In words, no. Never.
In what then?
In a changed nature. In an altered spirit. In another atmosphere of life. Another hope as its great end. In everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. If our promise had never been between us, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now?
You think not?
I would gladly think otherwise if I could, heaven knows. When I have learned a truth like this, I know how strong and irresistible it must be. But if you were free, today, tomorrow, yesterday, can I even believe that you would choose a dowerless girl? You, who in your very confidence in her, weigh everything by gain, or choosing her. If for a moment your one guiding principle to do so, do I not know your repentance and regret will surely follow? I do, and I release you, with a full heart for the love of whom you once were. You may have pain in this, a very, very brief time, but you will dismiss the recollection of it gladly as an unprofitable dream from which you've luckily avoided. May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Belle! Belle!
Belle, go after her, you fool! Spirit! Conduct me back! Why do you delight in torturing me?
One shadow more.
No, Spirit, no! I don't wish to see it no more! Belle!
And her family.
Oh my, such a graceful child, so full of promise. To think that she could have been my child, a springtime in the haggard winter of my life.
Belle!
darling.
My dear. Hello, Papa.
Oh, hello, my sweet one. Now, my dearest, pick your baby brother and off to bed.
Yes, Papa.
Well, I ran into an old friend of yours today.
Oh, who was it?
Oh, guess.
How can I? Let me think. Was it Mr. Scrooge?
Mr. Scrooge it was. I was walking by his counting house, and the shutters weren't drawn, and a candle was lit. I could hardly scarce could see inside. You know, his partner lies on the brink of death, I hear, and there he sat, all alone. Quite alone in the world, I'm afraid.
Alone in the world, my dear old Ebenezer.
Oh, Spirit, Spirit, remove me. I cannot bear it. Take me back. Leave me. Haunt me no more.
Ebenezer Scrooge, I come for your reclamation. Would you so soon put out with worldly hands the light I give?
No, no more, Spirit. No more, no more.
Come in! Come in and know me better, man. I am the ghost of Christmas present. Look upon me. You have never seen the likes of me before?
Never.
Have you never gone forth with any of my elder brothers, born in these latter years?
Do you have many elder brothers?
More than 1,800.
A tremendous family to provide for, certainly. I went forth last night on compulsion, Spirit. I learned a lesson that is working now. If you have aught to teach me, let me profit by it.
Touch my robe.
Scrooge and the Spirit found themselves on a busy city street on Christmas morning. The skies were gloomy and the streets were choked with a dingy mist of soot, as if all the chimneys in all Great Britain had by one consent caught fire. And yet there was a spirit of cheerfulness abroad. People were jovial and full of glee, calling out to one another. The poulterers' shops were still half open, and the fruiterers were radiant in their glory. It was a glorious scene, to be sure. There was the merry sound of scales descending, and the scent of teas, coffee, and sticks of cinnamon, and the candied fruitcakes spotted with lumps of molten sugar. People scurried about, so hopeful in the promise of the coming day.
Is there a particular flavor you sprinkle from your toe?
There is. My own.
Say here, watch where you're going.
Why don't you watch where you're going, you long-nosed weasel?
Weasel, is it? Why, you floppy-eared baboon? Why,
There, Spirit, there!
Wait, what are we doing arguing on this glorious Christmas morning?
You're right, my friend. 'Tis a shame to quarrel on this, of all days.
So it is, so it is.
God love you, friend. God love you.
And to you, sir. And a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And a prosperous New Year.
We mended that well, didn't we, Spirit?
We? Come, Scrooge. We have much to do and see.
Mother, we've been to the baker's. We've seen the goose. Yes, Mother. Such a wondrous goose, basking in sage and onion.
All right, my dear Cratchit children. Settle yourselves down and help me with this table. Wherever is your precious father and your brother Tiny Tim? Even Martha wasn't as late last Christmas Day by half an hour.
Here's Martha, Mother. Oh, Martha, there's such a goose at the baker's. Oh, such a goose, you say. A Merry Christmas, Ellen, dear. A Merry Christmas, Peter. And a Merry Christmas, Mother.
Oh, Merry Christmas Day at table. Why, dear, you've come so late.
We had a great deal of work to finish up last night and had to clear away this morning, Mother.
Well, never mind, so long as you come. Sit ye in front of the fire and have a warm. Oh, Lord bless ye.
No, there's Father coming. I'm Martha Hine. Yes, hi, Martha. Hello, Father. Hello, Father. Hello, Tim.
Hello, dear.
Hello, everyone. Why, where is our Martha?
Oh, not coming.
Not coming. Not coming on Christmas Day.
Oh, Father, a Merry Christmas.
Hello, Martha, dear. Merry Christmas to you.
All right, time to wash up. Ellen, Peter helped him.
I don't need any help, Mother.
And how did our little Tim behave in church today?
As good as gold. As good as gold and better. You know, he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much. He told me coming home, he hoped all the people in the church saw him and saw that he was a cripple. Then it would be pleasant for them on Christmas to remember who it was who made the blind to see and lame beggars to walk. Thoughtful boy.
Oh, well. Oh, Peter, Ellen, go to the door. I believe it's the baker with that goose.
Such a bustle ensued. You'd have thought that goose to be the rarest of all birds. Why, Bob Cratchit said there was never such a goose cooked. Its size, its flavor, its tenderness, its cheapness were all themes of universal admiration. Eked out with applesauce and potatoes, it was a fine, sufficient meal for the whole family.
We are grateful for this Christmas Day and its meaning. Let us be thankful for the food we are about to partake and for its nourishment. This we pray in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Their plates were filled and soon their bellies the same. Then Mrs. Cratchit rose to go out and take up the Christmas pudding.
Suppose it should not be good enough. Suppose it should break and turning out. Suppose I got him in the back wall and stolen it.
Mrs. Cratchit returned, smiling proudly with the Christmas pudding, like a silver cannonball topped with a sprig of Christmas hearts. And what a wonderful pudding! Why, everyone had something to say about it, but no one said and no one thought that it was a small pudding for such a large family. At last the dinner was done, and Mr. Cratchit poured out the hot punch from the jug. He poured it with beaming looks, while chestnuts on the fire sputtered and crackled noisily.
A toast. A Merry Christmas to us all, my dears. God bless us.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, pray help me, Spirit, would Tiny Tim live?
I see a vacant seat in this poor chimney corner, then a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these events remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
Oh, no, Spirit, no. Pray tell me he'll be spared.
If these events remain unaltered, none of my kind shall find him here. What then? If he be like to die, he had better do it, and decrease the surplus population. Man, if man you being hard, forbear that wicked cant until you've discovered what the surplus is and where 'tis. Will you decide what man shall live, what man shall die? Oh, it may be in the sight of heaven that you are more worthless and less fit to live than millions, like this poor man's child.
Mr. Scrooge, I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of our feast.
The founder of our feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon and hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children, please. It's Christmas Day.
It should be Christmas Day, I'm sure, when one drinks the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, and unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do. All right. I'll drink his health for your sake and the day's, not his. A long life to him. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
It was getting darker now, and snowing pretty heavily. Scrooge in the spirit walked along the street. Brilliance, roaring fires from parlors and kitchens and such rooms was truly wonderful. And if you judged by the number of people scurrying about on the streets on their way to friendly gatherings, why, you'd have thought there'd be no one at home to give them welcome when they arrived. Gracious, how that ghost exulted. But then, with no word and no warning, Scrooge found himself standing on a bleak, deserted moor, with massive, crude stones thrown about as though it were the burial place of giants. They sped across the moor and out to sea. Looking back, to his horror, Scrooge could see the last of the land. Built upon a dismal reef of sunken rocks, a league or more from the shore, was a lighthouse. The men who kept the light had built a fire. Standing round it, they joined hands and wished one another a Merry Christmas. Then they were off again, over the black and heaving waves, farther and farther out to sea, until they alighted upon a ship. And they stood beside the helmsman at the wheel. And they watched as every man on board hummed a Christmas tune, or spoke to his companion under his breath of bygone Christmas memories. And then laughter lighted up the night, and in a flash, Scrooge was spirited away to shore by laughter from another place to the home of his nephew Fred.
He said Christmas was a humbug. As I live, he believed it too.
More shame for him, Fred.
Oh, he's a comical old fellow, that's the truth. Not so pleasant as he might be. However, his offenses carry their own weight, and I have nothing to say against him.
Well, he is certainly very rich, Fred. Or at least you always tell me so.
What of it, my dear? His wealth is of no use to him. He doesn't any good with it. He doesn't make himself comfortable with it. He hasn't the satisfaction of ever thinking he's going to benefit us with it.
Well, I have no patience for him.
I have. I'm very sorry for him. Couldn't be angry with him if I tried. Who suffers from his ill whims? Himself. He takes it into his head to dislike us. And he won't come and dine with us. What's the consequence? Doesn't lose out on much of a dinner.
Indeed! I think he loses a very good dinner.
Yes, it was wonderful.
What do you say, Topper?
I'm just a bachelor, a wretched outcast, and I have no right to an opinion on that.
Oh, do go on, Fred. He never finishes what he begins to say. He is quite a ridiculous fellow.
I was going to say that the consequence of him taking a dislike to us and not making merry with us is as I think that he loses some pleasant moments, which could do him no harm. I mean to give him the same chance every year, whether he likes it or not. He may rail at Christmas till he dies, but he can't help thinking better of it. I defy him. If he finds me going there year after year and saying, Uncle Scrooge, how are you? If it only puts him in the vein to give his poor clerk 50 pence, well, that's something. And I think I shook him yesterday.
That old goose?
Hey, speaking of goose, why don't we sing a song?
Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, well, God bless you.
Oh, I do love that old tune.
Maybe a game, Fred. Why don't we play a game?
What's it to be?
Come, Scrooge. We must go.
Oh, Spirit, they're about to play a game. How far more? Only one.
Your choice.
You all know the rules to yes and no?
Oh, tell us. Who does it?
And no.
I'll start. I have something in mind. Who will begin?
I'll go. Is it a vegetable?
No.
Is it a mineral?
No.
Is it alive?
Yes. Is it a nice
Oh, no.
Does it by chance live in a menagerie?
No.
Does it live in London?
Yes.
Is it killed at market?
No.
Is it a horse?
Nay.
Is it a dog?
No. No.
Is it a cat?
No.
Is it a bear?
No, you're not close. Not even close.
I know what it is, Fred. I have found it out.
What is it?
It is your Uncle Scrooge.
Why, yes, my love, you've got it.
Wait, Fred, I object. When I said, is it a bear, you were obliged to answer yes.
He has given us plenty of merriment, I am sure. And it'd be ungrateful not to drink to his health. I say, Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the old man, whichever he is. He wouldn't take it from me, but may he have it nevertheless. Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
Come, Scrooge. We must go.
Oh, Spirit, you're becoming all gray and wrinkled. Our Spirit's lives so short.
My life upon this globe is very brief. It ends tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight at midnight. Hark, the time is near.
Oh, Spirit, I see something odd at the base of your robe.
Look, man, what do you see?
Oh, I see two children, a boy and a girl. Wretched, frightful beings, are they all?
They are man. The boy is ignorance. The girl is want. Beware them both. But most of all, beware this boy. For on his brow I see written that which is doom. Unless this writing be erased, deny it, slander them that tell the yea, and bide the end.
Have they no refuge? No recall?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Oh, no, Spirit, no!
The poor law and the treadmill are in full vigor.
Oh, no, Spirit, no! No! Am I in the presence of the Spirit of Christmas yet to come? Oh. You're about to show me shadows of things that have not yet happened, but will happen in the future. Is that not so? Oh, ghost of the future, I fear you more than any specter I've yet seen, but as I know your purpose is to do me good, and I don't wish to be the man that I was, I'm prepared to accept your company and do it with a grateful heart. Will you not speak to me? Oh, lead on, Spirit, lead on. The night is waning fast, and time is precious to me, I know, so lead on, Spirit, lead on.
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die? Last night, I believe. Why, what was the matter with him? Oh, I thought he'd never died.
Heaven knows. What do you suppose he's done with all his money?
Well, I haven't heard. All I know is he hasn't left it to me.
It's bound to be a very cheap funeral. For the life of me, I can't think of anybody to go with it. Say, suppose we make up a party and volunteer.
I don't mind going if lunch is provided, but I must be fed.
Well, then I'm the least interested of all. I don't even eat lunch. But if you two are going, I'll come along.
Well, let's off then.
Oh, Spirit, I know these men, all of them. Strange, I don't see myself at my usual place at the exchange.
Joe! Joe, are you about? Oh, there you are. Listen, I run Mrs. Dilbin here, and, well, the undertaker's man, and, well, we haven't all three met here without meaning it now, have we?
You couldn't have picked a better place to meet. We're all equal to our calling, eh?
Yes, well, what odds and ends then, Mrs. Dilbin? Everyone has a right to take care of themselves. He always did.
Oh, that's true indeed. No man more so.
Yes, well, I'll be staring about like he was afraid then. Who's the wiser? We haven't come to pick holes in each other's pockets now, have we?
No.
Indeed not.
Well, let's on with it then. Who's the worse for the loss of a few things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
Oh, a truer word was never spoken. It's a judgment on him.
Right, so, who's first then?
I wish it were a little heavier.
Well, let's have a look. A seal and a pencil case, some sleeve buttons, a brooch. Well, nothing of much value there. Let's see. There you are, not a sixpence more. Who's next?
Here, old Joe.
All right. Got some sheets, some pillowcases.
These fine linens, these is.
Indeed they are. Indeed they are. Oh, oh, oh. Silver teaspoons. Very nice. And silver sugar tongs. Very nice. Very nice. Indeed. All right, so. Always give too much to the ladies. It's going to be the ruin of me, you know. There you are, love. What? One more word and I'll repent of being so liberal, and I'll knock off half the town.
Ow! Ow! Well then, Joe. Here we are. There's my lot.
All right. What's this?
Bed curtains.
Bed curtains?
Yes.
His bed curtains?
Yes.
You don't mean to say you took them down, rings and all, with him lying there?
Yes, I did. And why not?
Well, I dare say you were made to make your fortune, and you're certainly going to do it.
Here, now be careful with them there blankets.
Blankets? His blankets?
Well, yes. Who else? He's not likely to take cold without them now, is he?
Well, you don't think that he died of anything catching to you?
No, never you mind. I wasn't so fond of him as I'd loiter about for the likes of this if he had. No, that's the end of it, Joe. What's my account? Let's settle up.
It's a nice account, my dear. It's a nice account indeed. There you are.
Oh, well, that's it then, isn't it? He frightened us all off while he was alive. Only to profit from him now that he's dead. Yes, stitchy old skinflint.
I see that the case of this unhappy man might very well be that of my own. My life tends that way now. Merciful heavens, is there no one in the town that feels emotion connected with this man's death? Show that person to me, I beseech you.
What's the news? Is it good or bad?
Bad.
Are we quite ruined?
No, there is hope yet, Caroline.
If ye relent, there is. Nothing is past hope if such a miracle has occurred.
He's past relenting. He's dead.
Dead? Dead, you say? To whom will our debts be transferred?
I don't know, but we will be ready with the money. Even if we weren't ready with the money, it'd be bad fortune indeed to find so merciless a creditor as his successor. We sleep with light hearts tonight, Caroline. Let us check into the matter.
Oh, Spirit, show me some tenderness connected with death, or that dark passage we just left will forever dwell within me.
And he set a child in the midst of them. What is it, Mother?
Nothing, dear. It's this close work. It hurts my eyes. It is better now. It makes them weak by the candlelight, and I wouldn't show weak eyes to your father for the world when he comes home. It must be near his time.
Past it, rather. But I've known Father to walk a little slower these last few evenings, Mother.
I've known him to walk with Tiny Tim very fast indeed upon his shoulders.
And so have I. And so have I.
But he was very light to carry, and your father loved him so that it was no trouble. No trouble at all. There's your father at the door. Robert, dear, you're late again today. You went there again?
Yes, my dear. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you good to see how green a place it was. But you'll see it often. I promised him we would walk there on a Sunday. Hello, child.
Oh, Robert, my dear Robert.
I'm sorry, dear. I saw Mr. Scrooge's nephew today. Such a pleasant gentleman. He could tell I was a little down and inquired about what it was that distressed me. On which I told him. He said, "I'm heartily sorry for it, Mr. Cratchit." After that, he gave me his card. Said, "This is where I live. Pray, come see me." Now, it wasn't for the sake of what he might be able to do for us, but for his kindly way. He's quite delightful. It was as though he'd known our Tiny Tim and felt with us.
Sure, he's a good soul, Robert.
You'd be sure of it, my dear, if you saw him smoke with them. I shouldn't be at all surprised if you could find out Peter about the situation.
Only hear that, Peter.
And then Peter will be keeping company with someone and setting up for himself. I'll get along with you, Ellen.
It's just as likely as not, one of these days, that however and whenever we part from one another, I am sure we shall none of us ever forget our Tiny Tim, shall we?
Never, Father. No, never, Father.
And I know, my dears, when we recollect how patient and how mild he was, when he was a little child, we shall not quarrel easily with each other and forget our Tiny Tim in doing it.
No, Father. No, never, Father.
No, Robert. We'll never, ever forget.
I'm so happy. So very happy.
Oh, Spirit, I sense that our parting is at hand. I know it, but I know not how. Tell me about the dead men they spoke of at old Joe's. Oh, Spirit, before I draw near that stone at which you point, let me ask you one question. Are these the shadows of things that will be, or are these the shadows of things that might be on? Men's courses foreshadow certain ends if persevered in, they must lead. But if those courses are changed, then the ends must change also. Say it as thus with what you saw me, I pray, say it. Oh! Oh! hear me? I'm not the man that I was. I'm not the man that I would have been but for this intervention. Why show me all this if I'm past all hope? Oh, good Spirit, your nature pities me and intercedes me. Assure me that I may yet brush away the shadows of these things by an altered life. Why, I will honor Christmas and keep it in my heart all the year. I will live in the past, in the present, and in the future. All three shall dwell within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. Assure me that I may yet sponge away the writing that is on this book. Oh, Spirit, kind Spirit, do not desert me. Oh, Jacob, heaven and Christmas be praised for this. I said on my knees, oh, Jacob, on my knees. Be back in less than 5 minutes. I'll give you half a crown.
Half a crown?
Look at him run. I'll have it sent to Mom Cratchit. He shan't know who sent it. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim. you, sir.
Good day, sir. Good day.
And a Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, Merry Christmas, sir.
Look at that bird. Why, it never could have stood upon those legs. It snapped them off in an instant. Well, here's for the turkey.
Thank you, sir.
Here's the address to deliver. You'll never be able to carry that all the way to Camden Town. You need to take a hansom cab. And as for you, my fine young man, did I say half a crown? No, for such an industrious young fellow, a full crown. And Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, thank you, Governor. Merry Christmas, sir.
And Merry Christmas to you too, sir.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Good day to you, gentlemen. I hope that you succeeded in your endeavors yesterday. It was very kind of you to stop by my place of business.
Why, Mr. Scrooge?
Oh, that's my name. I don't think you find it very pleasant. But may I beg your pardon? Also, I would like to contribute.
Lord, bless me.
My dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?
Oh, yes, and not a farthing less. There's a good deal of back payments included in it, I assure you. You'll do me that favor?
Oh, I don't know what to say.
You need say nothing. Come by my office tomorrow. Will you do me that favor?
But of course we will, sir.
Thank you. Thank you 50 times over. Merry Christmas. God bless you.
Merry Christmas, sir. Merry Christmas.
Scrooge has been putting in his eggnog, but that's good stuff. Scrooge was better than his word. He did all. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as that good old city ever knew. Oh, people laughed to see the alterations in him, but he let them laugh. His own heart laughed. That was quite enough for him. He made his way to the home of his nephew Fred, where he was received with surprise and affection. But all was forgiven, and a standing dinner date was made for years to come. In the afternoon, he pressed his way through the crowds, patting the heads of little children as he went. He made his way to the humble home of his employee, Bob Cratchit. He paused and looked in the window and watched as the family gathered about the table, making ready to partake of that fine bird he had sent them. Smiling happily, he knocked upon the door. Mr. Scrooge.
I did not see you at the office this day, Bob Cratchit.
I'm sorry, but I was under the understanding that I had the day off.
You did.
I'm sorry, sir. It shall not be repeated.
I will not tolerate this sort of thing any longer, therefore, I'm going to raise your salary, Bob Cratchit.
I promise that. Are you quite well, sir?
Oh, I've never been better, Bob Cratchit. I'm going to raise your salary, and I'm going to help your struggling family. We'll discuss your affairs right today when you finish your Christmas dinner. I shall buy another coal scuttle, and before you build a fire, and before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge, of course, Mr. Scrooge.
Won't you join us, Mr. Scrooge?
Oh, yes, thank you.
May I take your hat, sir?
Yes, thank you. Merry Christmas to you and yours, Bob Cratchit. But especially, Merry Christmas to you, Tiny Tim.
Merry Christmas to you, sir, and God blesses everyone.
our production of A Christmas Carol, inspired by the novel written by Charles Dickens. On behalf of the cast and the crew, the fine folks here at Pierre's Playhouse in the city of Victor, we wish you and your loved ones the most merriest of Christmases and a very, very happy New Year. Remember the reason for the season, and in the memorable words of Tiny Tim, God bless us ever.